chasing the check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carlos, really running the best. Car moving through these Ubers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these Ubers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Thicker the pie, thicker the bag. Meet them, I'm buying, at least in no beamer. I'm Brian O'Connor, driving it fast. They were just hating cause they in the way, and the way I've been made it, the is mad. Man in them baggins, I'm all in my bag. Well, I ain't holding around, just a little Merlin, out the cutie. Now I don't give a. Tell me why I would on the rose bar couch in my bag. Bands in my denim. In my denim, she was trying to for it out, she don't give a. She was in her bag, Fendi and some lane hags for a burger. Watch in the front seat of the fouled out J. We living so wild like Nas. When she was on in case we was on roll like tires. What we gon' that? I'm in my bag like I'm in my bag, my. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing the check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing the check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Bigger the bag, bigger the beef, bigger the problem, bigger the be one of the all in the same. Broke it, end of the month, flow Joe, kill more, work it up, keep clean, never let them touch, fits like temper tantrums, girl come back that up, all in the club, and bring all your girlfriends, girl hopping up about a Pearl 6, Louis speed bag glued to her wrist, she was getting paid, she ain't think a thing, but she was thinking slay, we blade thicker than a snigger bag, talking about she don't come with no baggage, y'all in her bag, I probably should. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing a check. I'm really gon' run up the Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing a check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed.
And, Coach, we are down on the Bayou as you get a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome here in New Orleans. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Play fake here on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Following the interception, here's Prescott. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I wanted to reach out of the booth and snatch that pass myself. That thing floated forever up there. I think that threw off the timing of the receiver. That's why he couldn't get his feet down even though he caught the ball.
You know, Charles, I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah, me too.
For you. I wanted to see you reach out and catch that.
Yeah, you've heard about my hands, huh?
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings have taken a first quarter lead. Extra point good by Hopkins. And it's now a 7-0 game. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season-open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 48. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Flush to his right. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Von Bell. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Here's the first carry for Alex Collins. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of 1 yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Prescott from the gun on third. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that one in, had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And now out comes Minnesota. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite at that level and not at that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. They're going to look to throw. And Diggs has it. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
He'll drop to throw, escaping the pressure right, and they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive, not much sense. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Man, it's a tough area in the field to try and run a draw play out of the gun. You know you're going to face a good push up front, and here they swallow him up for no gain.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Saints coming out now to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a 1st.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result. Because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter. And a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Tim Williams coming with pressure. He drops him on the blitz for a loss of 12. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Prescott from the gun. Eluding the pressure right. Looking long for Thomas. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. A killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 24. Here's Prescott. That's going to be caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Malcolm Mitchell, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Saints are back within a score. And he's got it up and through. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And out now come the Vikings. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking.
And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there with his second touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. Hopkins with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A gain of 6 there on first. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down inside the 25 before he's out of bounds. It's a big play there for the Saints. 43 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. A first down throw for Prescott. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Everson Griffin in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Here we go, 46. Hey. 4 down. Here you go.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
3rd and long for Prescott. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. Dances by him. And he will take it on out to the 20-yard line. Really nice pick there for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And a good story on that, he said he didn't even know he won the award. His buddy had to call him. He saw it on television and said, hey, congratulations. How about that?
And I'll bet you his buddy said, well, since you didn't know, I'll just go ahead and claim the award, right? And everything that goes along. The reason he won the award the previous week and what we just saw there, getting where the play's going and being able to make a...
It got his man complete. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
Detroit! Detroit!
First down, here's the run with Cook. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Alex Anzalone not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Left side caught by Diggs. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
This is fielded at the goal line. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
46. Here we go, 46. 26.
Prescott now on 2nd down. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Everson Griffin in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Gun.
Prescott. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. The 30. Past the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, 84 yards. And the Saints have cut it back within a score. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Ken Crowley. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Brandon, these cornerbacks have their hands full all afternoon long, but they finally get a measure of revenge as he gets himself in a nice spot. He's able to get two hands on the football and pick it off.
46. 26.
Prescott looks to throw on first. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That's caught. It's Malone. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And that one results in 35 yards.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And an alley to run. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
He's going to get it running right, and he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a 3rd one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even send in a running play here, I don't believe. I think they go ahead and try and throw it for a touchdown.
So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. And Hopkins' kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
Oh, the spin. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. A 2nd down throw for Prescott. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
46, 46. 46.
2nd down, Prescott. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And the return goes up to the intended target. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Going for the deep ball. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
They'll look to throw. He's got a 1st down past the 30. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
They go play action here on 1st down. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And this is caught at the 20. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this 1st half. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left.
Gone, 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 gone. Gone, 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 gone.
They'll throw now on the final play. And his throw here is incomplete. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the 2nd half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the 1st half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's Prescott. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And down he'll go at the 25. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Looking to throw. Prescott. Flush to his right. He's got a man. Complete. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just displayed.
That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So with the pass being completed, they'll go ahead and take that instead.
Nothing extra to be gained. Pass interference at the spot, completed the pass. That was your play. So it might as well have not even had the penalty.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints are back within a score. And he'll bang that one through. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that'll set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney!
Looking to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands. Guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And his pass incomplete. There defensively to break that one up, Ken Crawley. With that matchup, the adjustment that was made, you have a blazing guy on a blazing guy, and defensively, he won that battle.
The closing speed is the key. When you have a guy that fast and he can close at the end of a play and knock it away, that's a big deal, and we just saw him do it right there.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Play action now, Prescott. And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 32. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it. Here's Cook. Cook with a 1st down and much more. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
Cook following the penalty. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
So make him 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives are bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
Gun.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Prescott now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Prescott from the gun.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. On second down, Kamara. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
When you see a big-time run to the outside, it always comes back to setting the edge, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and they were perfect in setting the edge there.
And the funny part is, both sides of the ball talk about it. The offense has to set the edge so you can get outside. The defense wants to set the edge to control things so they can kick the run back inside.
Offense wins there.
Offense won big.
First down, Prescott. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. As his guys are in for 6. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody. But those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Oh, Prescott stripped. And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it. So a sack on the 2-point try. And this belongs to the Vikings. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Detroit!
Back now here live in New Orleans. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the fourth quarter of play.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Call it a gain of 3, and they're going to have a third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The Vikings on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. Here it's 3rd and 3. A give. This is Cook. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on third down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Finding some room in midfield. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Gonzalez. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now back to throw. He's going to sling this deep. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he will be marked down inside of New Orleans 10. That goes for a gain of 31. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal.
Lucky 56. Gone.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
Back to throw. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Sheldon Rankins with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is third and long. He'll drop to throw. Being chased out left. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Trying to run down some clock with Kamara. He'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. No gain on the play there. Second down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They run it again with Kamara, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. On third down, here's Kamara. Fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not get back there. It's a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. On play action, they'll throw. Buying time to his left. Now he'll let it go deep over. And got his man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively, they rally quickly after the broken tackle. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
That one looks like he'll throw here. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities. You get over anxious and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
They'll look to throw here. Dancing to his left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some.
And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith, and a return across midfield into the 46-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. The number 7 usually lucky here, not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time...
Oh, no, he lost the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
We go 47. 26.
He'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. In for the score. And the Saints have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they...
And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. P.J. Williams with a pick. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
And that one, oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
26. 26.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Again, it's Kamara. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. The Saints on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Prescott. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. You got the slim lead late and the football, so why are you throwing it there?
Remember during the year when we asked one of the head coaches, you know, if you're in this spot, why would you throw the ball? And he talked about trust in his quarterback and trust in his offense.
But still.
And then at the end he kind of went, yeah, not really a good reason.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Trying to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
They'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. He's going to let it fly. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw. 20. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. A gain of 32 that time. And we continue to see another example here of offenses just going for it.
And this game has really turned into a receiver's dream and a defender's nightmare.